coming through here just to hang out and talk to your boy. He is a legend. We're going to call him a legend today. Mr. Nelly, or Nelly. I don't want to say Mr. Nelly. Nelly is in the building. How you doing, fam? What you been up to, man? I know you was on tour with Florida Georgia Line, right? That went well?
Yeah, man. It's always well when I get a chance to go out with them boys. We always have such great shows, and we bring a lot of good people together, from different genres and different
great
people.
Energy at those shows.
Yeah,
great
energy at the shows. Something that when we first did it, I think back in like 12 or 14. I think that was our first time. 14, I think, was our first time doing it. And a lot of people told us that we couldn't, what were we doing? We couldn't make it happen. And, we jumped that off. And now, it's kind of like every 2-year thing. We kind of, come together and make it happen. So it's a beautiful situation when you get a chance to see the people.
So when you did that, let me ask you this: when y'all first made that connection, were you reluctant at first?
No.
Because I know you a country boy. So were you reluctant in the first time to be like, I don't know if I should do this?
When you say do this, you mean as far as
like collaborate with someone like from a different genre as far as like country music? Yeah.
No, I already did it in 2004 and made it work.
With the over and over again, right?
Right.
Right. Okay, so that's what I mean. When you first did that, were you reluctant about it?
Well, I wasn't reluctant. I think my label was a little.
Okay. Yeah, because it had been done, right?
My label was a little reluctant in making it, and seeing what I was seeing until I was able to make them see it, but. That's been my way with my music my whole life. You know what I mean? Like, just trying to make people get a chance to see the vision that you want, and that's how you create your own lane, and you make your landmarks by doing different things, and trying to be first in certain aspects.
Yeah, and I think your music, man, all the music that you had, a total 7 albums, I think it is.
Something close to 8.
Something close to 8.
Yeah.
You come from an era, man. I think that was golden as far as music. Now, music's changed a lot now. How do you see it now? What's your perception of it right now? Because it changes. It's going to change.
Of course. I'm a firm believer in evolution.
Okay.
I'm not one who wants to be stuck in a time warp. I never get mad about change.
Sure.
I never say where things should stay or get mad. I always expect things to evolve. Traditions must change. They're traditions. I think it's elevated, and especially with hip-hop, because hip-hop was created by the youth, for the youth, and people tend to forget that, that, the existence of hip-hop came as a rebellious music from the youth. The youth created it, and then now you want to get all these old heads want to try to control it.
Like, what y'all talking about?
Like, you can't do that, man. It's the kids, you know? And the more and more we try to tell them what they should be listening to, the more and more they're going rebel, and the more and more they're gonna go their own way. So I think when you look at it, I always give people like Snoop Dogg, because he understands that. He understands that. You never really see him kind of on the youth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he congratulates the youngsters. You know what I mean? And that's my feel. I like to congratulate the youngsters, like, yo, keep it going. And I think versatility is the key. I think what we have now, though, is hip-hop is so old now, as opposed to when we were younger, it was so dated. Maybe, when you were born, hip-hop probably didn't even exist. And it's probably just getting started.
Just getting started,
right?
Yeah.
So it had no history. So my uncles and them used to tell me hip hop was gonna be a fad. It'd be out. It wasn't real music.
A lot of people
it was
believe
gonna
that.
do this. It was gonna do that. And now here we are. But we have a chance to support what we like. And if we don't like it, ain't no need to knock it. We just let them have that.
Just let them have that.
Yeah, let them have their own. We got our own. Let's support what we want to support, and let the kids do their thing, man.
So when it's doing your creative process, do you approach it that way? Then, like, you don't think like let me appeal to the youngers. You do what you.
I think you always want to be in the mix, because it's kind of like with sports where you talk about these super teams. Look at how they play now. You know what I'm saying? You look at how the youth play now. Golden State is. They play totally different from probably when LeBron first came into the league.
True.
His game pound, this and that and this and that. And now you look at him and, guys is 2-3 steps across 3-point, the half-court line. And,
shooting,
they're looking to shoot. They're looking to shoot. And that's just a little different. It's the same way here. it's a young man's game and a veteran survival, cuz. You know what I mean? Like
veteran survival.
It just
like
truly
That's
is.
the truth.
You know what I'm saying? It's a career for a reason, and you just try to maintain. You do the music that you feel comfortable doing, and if you want to be versatile and create and go in a little bit more of that direction, ain't nothing wrong with that. I just say don't never sacrifice who you are or sacrifice your morals, but ain't nothing wrong with putting on the new shoes. You know what I'm saying?
Man, he's spitting knowledge today.
There's nothing wrong with putting on the new shoes.
Put the new shoes on, artists out there. All right,
sometimes.
Talking sometimes. Oh,
sometimes. Yeah, stay true to yourself. You know what I mean? But ain't nothing wrong with putting on the new shoes sometimes.
Put the new shoes on. Nelly here, man. Sugabear in the morning. So let's transition that to the new single, Freaky With You.
Yeah.
Jacquees on that.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Shout out to my nephew Jacquees, man. You know, again, the youth. You know, I appreciate what he does. He's young. He's hungry. He's been doing his thing for a second now, and it's not a lot of young R&B cats that's really making too much of a statement. So that's why I like his vibe and his movement, and he's such a good dude too, man. So
and R&B on the R&B side, what did you grow up listening to? Like,
man,
like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, I'm a little older, so
no, I'm with you. So
I came in definitely where R&B was more or less the king. You know what I'm saying? New Editions and
see, that's my favorite.
And, you know what I'm saying? And as far as growing up, I grew up on, my father used to play everything from, you know, the Commodores to Al Green and then, you know, that boy Michael Jackson was on the riff. So it just made it easier for me.
And for you to create, right? Because a lot of your music has melodies in it, so you hear a lot of melodies because you're just attached to that R&B side of it.
Yeah, well, more melodic. More melodic era.
That's always been the formula for you. That's why your music is still standing tall today.
I appreciate that, bro.
Are you working on something new?
Definitely, man. Okay. We're finishing up projects right now called All Work No Play.
Ooh.
And it's just in that vein. You know what I mean? I had a chance to work with a lot of dope people. Shout out to my little brother Hitmaker and everybody over there right now, Sound and Berg and A1, One in the Force and PC. Shout out to Ty and a lot of people on this project. OT helped me do some things. Wiz, Khalifa.
Oh, you got a little bit of everybody.
Yeah. We got some funk, man. So it's been a dope experience.
Coming out this summer. What do you get?
Yeah. We should be able to have a lot of it out by a couple more months, man.
And you're done with the project already? Or
we just filling it out. Okay. We just filling it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just trying to reinsert Nelly back into the swing of things right now. And
I think the game needs you right now.
Well, I'm going to take you for that. I'm going to hold you to that.
I'm just saying. I mean, we playing the song here. People responded to it.
Yeah,
I think the game needs you right now.
Thank you, man. That's why I'm here, man, because I appreciate the love.
Man, we show you a lot of love. Now, I want to talk real quick about something before we let you go, because I think this is an important social issue with Colin Kaepernick. If you were playing sports right now.
Exactly.
And, you know, with the issues that we have to face, and even some here in our own city right here in Sacramento, I mean, kneeling, what do you feel about that and the national anthem and all of that? You think that's important to make that statement that way?
I think it's important to make any statement that you can that you feel is socially important to you. That's the thing about it. It's like protests are supposed to be uncomfortable. That's the only way you get your point across is to make it uncomfortable. And when you're doing something as peaceful, and the thing about Colin Kaepernick is he was told by a veteran that this was a respectable way to get his point across was to kneel. He didn't think of this. He was sitting down out the way. He was told by a veteran out of the military to take a knee because that was more respectable. So, you know, first of all, I support Colin and everything that he's trying to do, and you know, I really hope the brother get a shot again. You know, I think that is definitely one of the worst things that's transpired with the NFL is the fact that he's not playing, and I think that's really going to give them a black eye here to come in years and 30 years from now when you look back at this issue. And you look back at how, you know, crazy this was, a la Jackie Robinson moment to a certain degree of like, yo, you know, what was the twist on it? You'll see what happens, and I don't think that the NFL is going to be real proud of themselves.
I agree with you there. We'll see what happens with it, but I just had to take your take on it because you are a person that a lot of people can see and or hear, and your side of things, and you have a voice too. You know what I mean? So that's great, man.
I appreciate it.
Can't wait to hear the new project, man. We do appreciate you. We are banging that freaky with you here at the station.
Keep it going. I appreciate it.
People are loving that. Sometime
bro.
this summer you'll hear the new project, and man, hopefully if you come back on tour, you come back to Sacramento.
I got to.